Z, on today's show, we're interviewing a contestant from the hit show Songland, a guy by the name of Max Embers. And on today's show, you get to ask him, how much of an impact did David Hasselhoff have on his music career? How much of an impact did David Hasselhoff have on his music career?
Well, he's from Germany, so you figure that had to be a huge influence in his life.
We got a chance to ask him about what it was like to work with Ryan Tedder.
Yeah.
We got a chance to ask him what pop artists have influenced his music the most. We got a chance to ask him how he supports himself as a songwriter in L.A. See, we get into so much good stuff with Max Embers. I'm excited for the listeners to hear it.
You know what's fun is, a few years from now, we'll look back and we'll go, hey, we had that guy on our show.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
Now, 3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. We started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yes, 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 and yes. Dr. Z in the house on the show today. We have a man who dominated the Songland with his performance, the hit show Songland. Max Embers, all the way from Germany on the Thrive Time Show. Max Embers, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Max, your performance on Songland was awesome. My kids and I were cheering for you. I got to ask you, my friend, what was your, growing up in Germany, who was your favorite pop artist?
Favorite pop artist? When I grew up, so my parents were listening to the legends like Stevie Wonder, Sting, Michael Jackson, and I would steal their CDs a lot of the time and just listen to them in my room. But I think when I first discovered pop music in my teenage years, it was there were these compilation CDs, Top of the Pops or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And I think I have to admit, my guilty pleasure as a child was Christina Aguilera. I would listen to her album Stripped a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, you speak, when you sing, your voice is just unbelievable. And do you speak, did you grow up speaking both German and English? Or talk to me about that.
Yeah, no, I grew up only speaking German until I was 11, and then in school I started learning English. It's just in 5th grade. That's usually when you start learning English in Germany. But I did an exchange year as a high school student in the United States when I was 16, and I think that definitely helped my English.
So when did you first start playing music? What age were you?
I would say I was 5 years old. I remember we had an upright piano in my living room, and I would just play all the time, even when I was just a couple of years old. And I must have been 5 when my parents asked me if I wanted to start taking piano lessons, and I was all about it. And so we went from there. I did classical piano all through my childhood.
Max, Dr. Z here. I've got 3 hard-hitting questions for you that I just need to get out there. Our listeners want to know about them. And I, quite frankly, want to know about it too, okay? How big an influence was David Hasselhoff in your career?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's got to be huge.
Controversy.
I know.
How big is David Hasselhoff in my career?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How big an influence was that man in your career?
80% of the inspiration for your career, 90%, 10%?
93%.
1%.
Can you even give a number to it?
Can you quantify it?
Yeah, can you?
Whoa, that is one of the most interesting questions I've ever been asked.
Okay, number 2, what you're thinking. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
With all the love that I have for David Hasselhoff, I have to say it would still be 0.5%.
Oh, 8.5.
It's got at least 0.5.
Okay, nice. Okay. I knew Germans loved David Hasselhoff.
Okay,
back to you.
Number two. How fast have you driven on the Autobahn? And be honest.
Yeah.
Ooh. So in kilometers per hour, probably 180. But that doesn't translate to miles. How much is that in miles?
111.
How much is 100?
111?
Let me look it up.
111 miles per hour. Yeah.
We already got translated.
Yeah, Max Embers is going 111 miles per hour on the Autobahn.
Okay.
This just in. Let's get one more tough question.
And the third, this one's going to take all of your private resources. Which is the better canine, the Doberman or the Rottweiler?
Wow, tough questions.
Doberman.
Okay, there we go. Oh. That's it. That's our audience needed to know those 3 answers, and now they have it. So.
I want to get more into the music stuff here, Z. Now that we've covered the German history, the German heritage, now we can move on. Now, okay, so Max, how did you first hear about the Songland show, and what was it like being on the Songland show?
How did I hear about it? It was kind of funny because in a matter of 2 weeks, I think 3 different people reached out to me about it. So there was an A&R from the show that reached out to me directly, and she said that she had heard me on Instagram and thought I was good for the show. And then at least 2 other friends of mine and like industry contacts that I had reached out and said, hey, I think you'd be good for this show. Check it out and like see if you want to apply. And so I did. And I don't know, it just worked out. It was cool because they had me send a couple of my songs. And I think multiple songs were maybe in the running for the show actually. But up until a couple days before we really filmed the first day of filming, I didn't actually know that I was 100% going to be on this episode. So it was like a great surprise when they finally confirmed that I was going to be singing for John Legend.
Now, you came out there and performed your song to John Legend and the 3 different producers and songwriters. And who are you most nervous to sing in front of? I'm sure I heard you on the show. You sing a lot of John Legend covers. John Legend is huge. Ryan Tedder's huge. Definitely. I mean, who are you the most nervous to sing in front of?
So I really admired both John Legend and Ryan Tedder before I even met them on the show. And I would say probably John Legend. He's just been like a huge inspiration for me as an artist. And getting the chance to, sing for him and pitch a song to him was incredible. But with that being said, like, I've loved One Republic. They were huge in Germany. I must have been a teenager when Apologize blew up, and ever since I've definitely been a fan. So I think both of them were like making me nervous, but yeah.
Now, you got up there and you performed Back Home, which you later decided to change after working with Ryan to Lookin' Up. Lookin' Up is played in our overhead music, Z. For the listeners who go to eitrlounge.com and they click on the Clay Clark Radio, you can hear the song being streamed there all the time.
Cool.
Talk to me about why you chose that song and why you guys decided to change the name of the song after you teamed up.
So basically, Back Home was chosen by the show producers for the episode of John Legend. So I didn't even know that was going to be for John Legend. It was like a moment of reveal when we were all there, and they were like, okay, so this week's episode is going to be John Legend. And so I didn't necessarily choose Back Home for John Legend, but it was, I really thought once I thought about it that it could be a really great song for him. Ultimately, I think when Ryan and I were working together, we realized that the song that I wrote, Back Home, was very much introspective. It was like this emotional, mid-tempo song about really about me being a 20-something who's trying to figure out what they're doing with their life. And as we were working together, we wanted to make it a little more suitable for John Legend with where he was at in his life, and he's married to Chrissy and they have kids, and he's one of the biggest artists of our time. So kind of some of the lyrics didn't really work for him, and we wanted to just turn it into more of a love song, still keeping like the core of the idea that even when things are getting hard, you just like keep looking up to the stars and you pray that things are going to get better. And it's just a song about never giving up. So that didn't really change, but I think it turned from being an introspective mid-tempo ballad into an up-tempo love song.
Your voice is incredible. It is. I'm serious. I was my first company. I don't expect you to do a ton of research on the guy interviewing you, but DJConnection.com was my first company. I started out of my Oral Roberts University dorm room while Ryan was across the hall playing pop songs, trying to get his career going. We were on the same floor at Oral Roberts, and I'm obsessive with music. I probably listen to music at least 7 to 8 hours a week. New music. I'm consuming it. I love R&B. Your voice is incredible, man. So I want to ask you, when you went in to sing with Tedder in the studio, what kind of coaching did he give you? What was that interaction like? They show you excerpts on the show Songland where you can see parts of it, but I'd love to be a fly on the wall. What kind of coaching did you get? What did the conversations look like? What was that like?
I mean, I feel like there wasn't necessarily a lot of coaching when it came to singing per se. I think I was really flattered though when I sent him my first demo of the new version of the song, and he was like, "Yeah, you sound really awesome on the song." And I think he even said on camera at some point, he was like, "I think you sound better than I did on the demo," which was like crazy to hear. We mostly worked on the songwriting. It wasn't so much about like how I sang it. I feel like he trusted me with how I was going to deliver it. But there was actually a funny moment right before. So we had rewritten the song, and right before I went on stage to sing "Lookin' Up," Ryan came over to me and he was like, I think in the last line of the song, like you should just sing a run in the end of it. And like I didn't know, I hadn't practiced that or anything. And he just like blurted something out, and it sounded incredible. And so I went on stage and went ahead with it. But yeah, I feel like the writing process was really awesome. Ryan is a busy man, as you know. You've lived across the hall from him. He's a hardworking dude, and he was flying to New York City to do something for One Republic right after our first writing session that we had. And so we kind of, after the first session, we had to communicate via FaceTime and email, and we just went back and forth and like fixed up all the lyrics, and he gave me a lot of free reign when it came to the lyrics. I kind of met up with my co-writer on the song. Her name is Emily, and we just met up at my house and stayed up until like 3 a.m. reworking everything that Ryan and I had already come up with. And so throughout the next couple of days, I just like emailed him my version, and he gave me a couple pieces of feedback, and we FaceTimed again, and it ended up being what it is now.
I'm gonna queue up little audio samples of some of the stuff on your YouTube channel. I'm gonna queue it up, and I'd like for Z to begin to interrogate you about your musical approach, because Z is an optometrist, so he can see through the music on YouTube, on your YouTube channel. He can see through and get to the good questions. Okay, Z, I'm gonna queue up 15 seconds. This is Max. This is a little excerpt of your song "Lying" live. You posted this 10 months ago on your YouTube channel. This is your YouTube channel, right? This is not an imposter. This is not David Hasselhoff's channel. This is Max Embers' channel.
That's
I'm going to cue it up, Max. Okay, here we go. Let me cue it up here. Queuing it up. I'm gonna go 25 seconds.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Here we go.
You look like an angel that every guy's looking for, the right kind of faithful one you bring back for more. But I'm bad at commitments, and I don't want the pressure, so I'll just say never, cause I'd rather be strangers.
He's gonna bring it home, Z.
Than to hurt you at all. How come every time you're out of my life?
How's he on the show right now?
I don't know. Where does the cowbell come in?
There's no cowbell.
Cause you pull me closer like nobody else, and you take my clothes off. You do it so well. When you love me, love me, love me, love me.
See, the falsetto's so good.
It's so good.
He's so good. It's so good.
But where,
good. What questions do you have? It's
where
too
does
good.
the cowbell come in?
The only thing that can make it better is cowbell.
A little cowbell in there.
There we go.
It's just a little bit of cowbell.
A little cowbell could have made it better.
Cowbell makes every song a little better, doesn't it?
Falsetto's so good. I want to cry right now.
It's so good.
Oh my God, thank you.
Z, it's so good. What?
Yeah, that always amazes me how someone can talk and you can tell they have a little bit of an accent, and then they sing, they don't have an accent. Why is that? I've always wondered that. Why is that? Why is
steroids?
That? I mean, it's
David Hasselhoff?
I mean, is it?
I don't know. Why is that? That's such a good question. I think, I don't know. I think I've lost a bit of my accent throughout the past couple of years, but even 5 years ago or something, I think I had much less of an accent when I was singing than speaking. And honestly, I have absolutely no idea. Maybe it's because I've listened to English music all my life, and it just feels more natural than just speaking it. I don't know.
It always blows my mind when you hear a song, and then all of a sudden you see like an interview of that artist, and they have such a heavy accent. You're like, is that the same? Because your accent isn't that heavy, but yet when you sing, I would never guess that you're from Germany. Now, every now and then, like on Ed Sheeran, you can hear a little bit of his accent coming through in some of the words he says. But, for the most part, I mean, I want
to ask this, Max. I want to ask this. Your songwriting process is what? Because I want to know, how do you do it? Do you see it? One of my clients I work with is Colton Dixon, who is signed with...
I recently wrote with him.
You did? Okay, so you know David Silverstein, and Colton was just here in the studio in Tulsa about a week ago, Z.
Oh, yeah.
So you just sat down to write with Colton? When did you write with Colton?
Colton and I wrote with a friend of mine, Christina Galligan.
Yes.
And Daniel Fields, actually, who also was on Songland recently.
Yes.
And the four of us wrote a song for Colton's next project, hopefully, if he goes through with it. It was super fun.
Do we have a working title? Do you have a working title? Do you have a working title for this potential song that might not make the album or might make the album? And there's so many cuts going in there, but I got to interrogate him about this. This is good.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Could you draw a picture of it verbally for me, like it sounds like? Could you do that? That way, when we transcribe it, no one knows.
It's a love song. It's
okay.
Oh, there we go.
Kind of like you want to tell someone how much you love them, and there's so much that you could say to that person that it's going to take a whole lifetime or more.
I'm gonna tell Colton.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell Colton. I'm gonna say, Colton, listen here. Some have said if you have a soul, you'll put this on the album.
Sure.
Some have said. Okay, but seriously, what's your process for writing?
So Max, are you come with the lyrics first, or you come with the music first?
The melody? How do you do it?
The melody or the
you
music?
Maybe talk that thing out. What do you do?
The lyrics.
It really depends. It really depends on the song. I think I definitely come from more of a musical perspective because, as you know, I'm from Germany, and I think for the first, 15 years of my life or so, I didn't really pay that much attention to the lyrics, just because I didn't understand them for a long time, So, and growing up playing classical music, I think the harmony and the melody was my number one priority. But with that being said, like throughout the past 10 years or so, like lyrics have become super important to me, and it really depends. Like sometimes I just have something lyrical that really inspires me, and I have some sort of situation in my life that I need to write about, and then I come from that angle. I mean, it's just like you can sit down and just like brainstorm, just kind of like stream of consciousness, and then from that, lyrics develop.
So with the song
a lot
Lying,
of the time it'll be the music first. I just sit down at the piano and I play, and whatever comes to me.
With the song Lying, did you hear the melody first and then the lyrics come way down the line, or do you start with a little piece of a? Tell me about that song in particular. How did you get an idea for a melody and then you put lyrics on that skeleton? Or I'm just so curious about your brain.
That one definitely I think came more from a musical perspective, and it's interesting because I wrote it with two friends of mine, Rollo Spreckley and Noah Conrad, and we just had a session, wrote the first version of the song, which was completely different.
Are you there? I think we lost him. Are you there? We're coming back. And we're coming back.
Top right, yeah.
Did you hear me?
I heard the word Nolan, and then it cut. Can we start back from Nolan? You said you were sitting down to write the song with a friend of yours, and then boom, we lost you.
Okay. Sat down and wrote the song with two friends of mine, Rollo Spreckley and Noah Conrad. And we kind of came up with the first version of the song, which was completely different when it came to the concept. It was called Lying to Yourself, and not in the new version, lying to myself. And the whole story of the song was different. And then a year later, I just woke up one morning and I had this epiphany because I had been in and out of a relationship for a very long time. And ultimately it occurred to me that I just had to flip the concept and make it I'm lying to myself. If I'm thinking I'm over this, I'm lying to myself. So I kind of called them both and I was like, hey, we got to get back together. I need to rewrite this song because I finally know what it's actually about. And so that's how what it is now came to be.
So now tell us about the future of your career. I think Z and I want to know. This is an entrepreneurial show. Then we have Josh, our show sponsor with Living Water. He's a shameless entrepreneur as well. So we've got a lot of business questions now. So here we go. We're getting into the businessy side of things. When I was building DJConnection.com, I worked at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV before building that massive company. I know Ryan was working at Pottery Barn while working for free as an intern at Industrial Light and Magic. How have you been supporting yourself previous to, being on the Songland, a show, or doing rights with people like Colton Dixon? Or how do you do it? Were you a waiter? Did you perform gigs on the weekends? Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I'm just playing cover gigs 5-6 times a week. I studied in Boston. I studied music in Berklee College of Music, and in my last year of studying, I started playing in a wedding band.
Yeah.
And when I moved to LA, I kind of continued that work. I'm not doing weddings so much anymore, but playing at steakhouses and bars and stuff. I don't know if you've heard of Mastro's Steakhouse.
Okay.
I play there.
Ryan sang at my wedding. That might have been his last wedding gig. I don't know if he was willing to do that anymore. The wedding gigs can be tough. You don't know the people.
I think you DJ'd my daughter's. That was your last wedding.
It was.
The DJ, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to play a little bit of a cover of you singing a cover. I'm going to play a sample of Max singing a cover here. Mm-hmm. And then you get to ask Max any questions about this, because we might want to book him for this year's Christmas party, should he not be epic famous yet. Seriously, we have a Christmas party with 500 employees or people there. It's going to be a huge Christmas party, 500 people there. We might be looking for the guy here, but let me cue it up real quick.
All right.
And then you ask him any questions, because again, we might want to hire him before he becomes super epic famous. Here we go.
Yes, hire me, people. Hire me.
I got news, I count 'em.
Here we go.
Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it would save me. Too many times, all my life. He makes me feel like nobody else. Oh, but my life. He doesn't love me, so I tell myself, hey, 1, don't pick up the phone. You know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. 2, don't let him in, you'll have to kick him out again. 3, don't be his friend. You know you're gonna.
How is he not on the radio every day? That's my question.
Wow, that's
that voice is smooth like butter, Z. Smooth. Coconut butter.
Since you're performing at Maestro's Steakhouse, what is it? Is it you get like all you can eat steak and potatoes, or is that
part of the gig?
Was that part of the gig?
Do I get to eat steak? Is that what you asked?
Is it all you can eat steak there when you're performing there? Is that part of the deal? Is that like they throw in pie or something? I mean, you get something at the steakhouse.
Most of the time, sometimes the manager will be like, "Hey, let me buy you dinner," but most of the time, I get the free bread,
Okay.
Carb load. You got a carb load.
I have a question.
Carb load.
I got a question.
How much do you charge for a gig right now?
Yeah, how much are you charging? Yeah.
I mean, like today, right now, July of 2019.
If we're going to book right now, or is it negotiable?
Ooh, it's kind of negotiable. I don't know if I can say it. Because it depends on so many things, like it depends on where I have to drive, which equipment I have to bring, how long they want me to play. So it's really...
Wow, that's complicated.
Can't really... But,
so what's the range? What's the range?
Please contact me, hire me. We'll negotiate something.
So, Z, if we go to maxembers.com, we can find him. Maxembers.com.
Okay, maxembers.com. Got it. Check.
Now, Max, I've got 3 more questions for you. I'm going to go fast. This is the lightning round, okay? Three questions here for you. 1, what do the next 12 months of your career look like, ideally? I know Ryan worked for so long working for free over at the Pottery Barn for income, and then working for free as an intern, doing whatever he had to do, working with the likes of Timbaland and all these people, and growing his MySpace followers, and his story to getting finally paid as a musician. It took a long time. What's your plan next 12 months? If everything comes together, if someone is listening right now, Z, we're going to have the owner of the Houston Rockets on the show here very, very soon. He reached out to us. Looks like we're going to have Trump-tastic, a Trump Jr. on the show. If someone's listening to this show right now and they're going, I want to make this kid's future a reality, what are you looking for in those next 12 months, man? Put it out there.
Yeah, come on.
Amazing. So the next couple of months are going to be me finishing up my current project. I'm working on an album. I have all the songs ready. I'm just fixing up some production and then rolling out the songs. I'm just going to be releasing. There's going to be, I think, 12 songs on the album. It's called The Truth is a Complicated Thing. And I'm currently completely independent. I don't have a label deal. I don't have a publishing deal. And I'm okay with that. I'm super okay releasing this first project independently. However, I'm probably going to do some sort of fundraising campaign to, finance PR and playlisting and stuff like that. We'll see where that goes. But within the next 12 months, I think a label deal should be coming at some point. This can be, I'm down for it for the first project. Hey, if anybody hears this and they're like, wait, we want to work with you on the first album, then please also give me a call. But I think first album might be independent. Then I want to hit all the labels and see who might want to be working with me, and then continue to release music. I have way more than one album worth of music. So I'm just going to continue to release music. I want to, hit the road and go tour a little bit. I think at least in California and maybe on the East Coast, because I do have some people there, I think, who would listen in Boston, New York, and stuff. So play a tour, and what else? Quit the day job. Make enough money off music to.
Well, we have Emily Warren coming up on the show here, and I think next week we're interviewing Emily Warren, the songwriter for the Chainsmokers and Shawn Mendes and a lot of Dua Lipa, that kind of thing. I think she actually wrote New Rules. You just did the cover of there. I'm not trying to paint you into a corner, but do you have a favorite songwriter that you would love to work with, or a favorite artist? Do you have kind of a bucket list of artists where you go, I'd love to write with them or to work with them, or someone like Emily Warren, or do you have a few names of people you want to work with?
For sure. So Chris Martin is one. Coldplay is one of my favorite bands. I think at some point in my life I would love to meet him and either write a song with him or just like get lunch. That's for sure. Couple of producers that I'd love to work with. There's Greg Wells, that I think is incredible. Blake Mills, who actually did all of John Legend's last album, Darkness and Light. He's unbelievable. Mark Ronson. Stargate, they did a lot of Coldplay's last album.
Yep.
I think they're amazing.
Now,
Frank Ocean, Labyrinth.
Frank Ocean. Now, see, my final question I have, then you can one-up me and Josh can one-up me, okay? So here we go. My final question. Here we go. Is it when I was building DJConnection.com, I did a lot of gigs that they weren't awesome. I'll call them hell gigs. And my favorite hell gig was I signed a deal, Max. I was super excited I could quit my day jobs working at Applebee's, Target, and DirecTV. So I signed up to do a deal for 1 year at the Holiday Inn Select 7 days a week.
Come on now.
And I was excited. I told my wife, I came home, I said, babe, I signed a deal. $700 a week, every week, guaranteed for a year.
Bam.
Unbelievable. And she goes, you signed a gig to run the sound systems for impersonators for 7 nights a week for $700 a week? I said, yeah, I quit my day job. And she's like, what are you doing?
What?
Do you have a hell gig looking back at it? Not the venue. I know you don't want to throw a venue under the bus, but can you think of an event where you thought, I can't wait till my career takes off, so I'm never performing at a nursing home on a Sunday at 9 a.m. again? Or do you have a specific event that comes to your mind?
An event where I ask the question one more time. Sorry.
I guess an event where it was kind of a less than favorable setting, but you did it anyway because you're putting in your work right now. Was there a specific venue or a specific show you did where you thought, wow, I cannot wait till I'm done doing these kinds of shows? Or is every show just a gift to you?
I mean, I love my day job for what it is. It's because I'm getting to play music and make a living off of it. But at the same time, if you play the same repertoire over and over and over again, the same songs, at some point you're just like, well, I can't wait for the day when I can play my own music and people actually listen. Because there are some amazing gigs where everybody listens, everybody has requests, and people are really into it. And then there's definitely also days where just everybody's doing their own thing, nobody cares. And definitely a lot of those nights I'm like, whoa, there's going to be a day when I'm playing a big stage and a sold-out auditorium, and I can play my own music, and every single person in the room is going to be listening, and I can't wait for that day.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Max,
this website's awesome. I'm sorry. It auto-plays on the website here.
Oh, there we go.
MaxEmbers.com. It's awesome.
It's so fun.
It's awesome. Sorry to cut you off. I'm just clicking on the website there, checking it out. It's a beautiful
Max,
thing.
I got a two-part question for you.
Two-part.
One, name a venue that's the top of your bucket list that you're looking forward to selling out and playing. Like what's one of the top venues that you go, that is the big.
You can't say the Holiday Inn Select in Tulsa.
You can't. That one's got to take it off. You've got to take that one off the list.
Two. I give it two. For the big concert, Staples Center. For like the more intimate, beautiful venue, Carnegie Hall.
Oh,
there it is.
good
It's going to
answer.
happen. He put it out there. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen, Max. Now, I will also ask you that this is a tough question. You'll probably go, oh.
Josh is going to one up you. Here we go.
That's the fun thing about asking is that if you could be the world's best songwriter or the world's best performer, which one would you choose?
Ooh,
yeah.
Whoa.
Hard
Songwriter.
hitting.
World's best songwriter, for sure.
Really? Okay,
I
cool.
think that it's more important to me that I don't think I'm ever going to be the world's best performer. I think I'm a good performer. I'm a great performer, but I think it's more important that the songs have a message and meaning and I think songwriting is such an amazing tool to
True.
change people's lives, and I think that's more important to me.
Good answer.
I would say this by default, though. He's already the world's best hair model. Should he want to be that, he could be like a shampoo commercial. This guy's hair is incredible. He's got great lettuce. I'm just. I've got nothing. Z. I mean, you look at this. If his hair is enviable. Look at. Z, have you seen the pictures behind you? That hair.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
That hair is it's better than 90210 hair. 90210. Z. Everyone had great hair in that show.
It's true. Everything from Germany is better, and this
it's like a young David Hasselhoff
They
mixed
probably
with.
engineer their hair over there even better. I don't know.
It's like a young Jason Priestley mixed with a young George Michael mixed with a young.
Like the Mercedes-Benz of hair right there.
That's right. Incredible. It's a luxury import hair.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh.
You talking about my hair right now?
Yeah. It's great hair. It's a great mop. It's impressive.
Well, thank you.
Josh, you're with Living Water Irrigation. You believe in strong hair and strong families.
Absolutely.
What questions do you have?
Hey, Max, 2 questions for you, sir. Thank you so much. Hey, so the first question is a little selfish, and then the second one is for the audience out there. So I'm a 41-year-old man with no musical talent whatsoever. I can't play guitar, can't sing or anything. But if you ever have a need or a desire for somebody to stand in the back and lip sync, or maybe just be your hype guy, I can get really excited. You let me know. I'm really easy to get a hold of.
Put your hands in the air.
Yeah, I'm available to go on tour, California, international, whatever you need. Just letting you know that, Max. If you ever
my
need
backup
that.
dancer.
Oh, I love it. Yes, I can do that. I can only do the side to side with the arms tucked in, though. That's all I got.
I gotta say, we do a dance contest every year at our Christmas party, and Dr. Z has won every year for years in a row now. And last year, at the age of 53, he goes down and does the one-legged splits John Travolta style. Unbelievable repertoire.
I'm still in therapy for that, by the way.
And then the other question is, so I'm glad I got a good solid yes out of that, Max. I'll be expecting your people to give us a call.
We'll call your people.
And then the other question for all the listeners out there that are aspiring, that are striving, want to be musicians, want to be singers, want to be songwriters, what piece of advice would you give to them, sir?
I recently read this quote that I think is currently really inspiring me, and I'm still trying to implement it in my life more than I have. But I read the quote, "Leap and the net will appear," and I think it's so true. In life, you just gotta go for your dreams, and sometimes you gotta jump into cold water and just figure it out. If you have to, not to say that you have to throw away everything you've ever had, but for me right now, it's take a risk, quit the day job if you want to. I don't know. Even if that means financial stress for a couple of months, but just live it up and go for your dreams, because as cliche as it sounds, but we do only live once and we have to make the most of it.
I love that, Max.
Max, your website, maxembers.com, we can find your newest release here, The Way I See You Now. Out now. Everyone can go out there and check it out today. Would you prefer for everybody to go check out your website? You want to go learn more about you on YouTube or Instagram? Or what's the best way? What is the recommended Max Embers prescribed way for our listeners to learn more about the doctor of songwriting, Max Embers?
I would say definitely, certainly check out my website. I need to be better at updating it. With that being said, there's actually a song that I released after The Way I See You Now, called Honest Mistake. That's the most recent single. Definitely encourage everybody to go check it out on whichever platform you like to listen to music to. But Instagram is the most updated platform. So if Max Embers Music, I usually post about what I've released, my live shows and everything. So that's probably the best spot.
Max, thank you for taking time out of your schedule. Thank you for entertaining my wife and kids and I with your performance on Songland. I feel your passion, love your voice, cannot wait to hear more of it. And I'm not sure how much of the money goes to you when I license music at customchannels.net for my offices. But I hope that you can quit your day job as soon as possible because it's worth every penny that we're paying each month. We pay like $1,000 a month to air the music for all the different stores, and I can't wait for your career to take off and to be as financially fruitful as possible because you have a great voice and a great message.
Thank you so much, my friend.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
You take care.
You too.
Now, Z, we like to end each and every show with a boom, but before we do that, isn't it fun, Z, having these songwriters on there, these singers, these people with these angelic voices?
It really is fun. I tell you what, and this show, Songland,
it's
is
great.
Kind of blowing up. It's kind of cool.
It's a hit factory, Z.
It's hip. When are you going to be on it?
Well, whenever they feature cowbell artists that struggle with the time and space continuum, rhythm, and harmony.
Wow, I'm sure that's going to be a show here pretty soon.
Very soon. When they say, we're looking for artists that really can't find a melody,
check,
a rhythm,
check,
a harmony,
check,
with no real grasp of music.
Check.
Next on tomorrow's Songland.
Who could write some edgy, like semi-rap kind of stuff?
Yeah. That's what I'm going to be on.
Well, perfect.
I'm Plan C.
Wow.
You're Plan Z.
Here
we go. Without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom!